take those and use those to inform the development of the platform. In terms of the approach, I didn't know what the hell I was signing up for, obviously. I think it was the end of March. There was an NGAC meeting, the National Geospatial Advisory Committee, the FACA, meeting, end of March in DC. And that was the first time I heard the term Geospatial Platform. By mid-April, Karen convened a one-day federal workshop where they provided the first version, so version 1. By June 2nd, we had version 2. In between time is with these subsequent bullets I'll talk about. And then by June 30th, we had the third version of the document. So this was an extremely challenging activity because we had multiple interdependent teams that were working at the same time. And we had a very limited time to try to synthesize and compile that information. We had 5 working groups, we'll talk about the pillars a little bit later, and then a core team. These were all volunteered resources. It wasn't like anybody at the beginning of the year put together their business plans or whatever their project plans are, said, I'm going to squirrel away some time in the second or third quarter to work on something called the Geospatial Platform, because it didn't exist. So the agencies said, you know what, we're going to put resources toward it. I can tell you from my perspective, NOAA has carried the bill for my involvement, and I think that stands across all the federal agencies for the individuals that served as either team leads or team members. SAOGI might not be a term that you guys know. That's the senior agency official for geospatial information. The point there is each of the teams were led by a senior agency official. So Karen is the senior spatial person from Interior, Jerry Johnston, who's up front from EPA. We had Dan Potter from DHS, Steve Waller from NGA, Stephen Lowe from USDA. And they each took a team, and that helped provide the senior level executive leadership. And then we had chairs, co-chairs, that were more coordination groups, so people like Randy Pissarro and Bill Mullen. Then we looked across the rest of the federal sector, the coordination group that reached into agencies to try to really quickly pull together these teams and put together the content in a short period. We've done a limited, I actually don't like the wording that I've got there. I wouldn't say various times. The only time that we've really had the opportunity to go beyond the federal sector with this approach, not the document, the approach is, it was the May coordination group meeting, I believe, when we had like a half-hour session, open session, WebEx, and we had 40 or 50 people dial into WebEx plus people in the audience. And then we did have the opportunity at the end of June to spend pretty much 2 days with NGAC again, and they represent multiple sectors of the community. But that's it. That's all the socialization that we really have the roadmap today. So shifting from backgrounds, that's enough background, to where we stand right now. We did hit our deadline. June 30th, July 1st, we wrapped up version 3 of the document. It was forwarded to Interior, and Karen's been calling and emailing and pestering on just about a daily basis to try to get it released. And as she mentioned at the beginning, we think we're getting close. And what I'd like to do now is go through kind of slide by slide and talk to you a little bit about what's in the document. This is obviously, as I said at the beginning, going to be relatively high level, just given the amount of time we've got. The preamble and the executive summary, the reason we put these 2 sections in was specifically to be a part of the document that somebody at the highest levels of government, OMB, could extract. They could look at the preamble. What is geospatial information? Why is it important? What is it doing to help our economy, our society? That's the purpose of the preamble. It's really the so what. Why should I care about this thing? Why should I potentially fund it in the long term? And then the executive summary is 2 pages, I think, 2 to 3 pages. So really, in about 4 or 5 pages, somebody at OMB or secretary level could look at this and get a feel for what is in the platform. Where we're going to spend time today is looking at the pillars, the business model, and the roadmap implementation. In terms of the purpose of the document, first was mail, obviously responding as Interior, as the lead, making sure that we could respond to pass-back language. But in the document, we wanted to make sure that we articulated a clear vision and purpose purpose for the platform. And what we have now, and I probably should have said this up front, we have version 3 of the document that's going to hopefully be shared here soon. There's a commitment to create a 4th version because we recognize that this has not gone out for broad federal review or had gone on to any of the other sectors, and that's critical. So there will be a 4th version. So what is in the document right now in terms of vision and purpose and all the other technology elements is fully open for editing and suggested refinement. We spent quite a bit of time in the document on the technology architecture, shared infrastructure. Governance is the 3rd bullet. And that also deals with business plan. And then the last 2 really speak to implementation. So here's your definition. I'll go ahead and read this. This is the current working definition. The Geospatial Platform will be a managed portfolio of common geospatial data, services, and applications contributed and administered by authoritative sources and hosted on a shared infrastructure for use by government agencies and partners to meet their mission needs and the broader needs of the nation. That's the existing definition, and then the vision is below it. So does that vision grab anybody? What's in there right now? Access to geospatial capabilities to meet mission needs. Is it big enough? Visions are meant to be far-reaching, unattainable. These are the things that we're supposed to strive to. Does this get you guys jazzed enough? Or is it too bureaucratic? Steve?
One aspect of this, which I think is huge, is we have the potential to create equity in access. Maybe that's embedded here. Regardless of how much you invested in a platform today, you can have access to these capabilities.
I know you guys are looking up lofty, but maybe you need to turn that upside down. What does the average person in the field who runs a GIS need? You need highly detailed, very good information. So this is really lofty when you think that we don't have very good information right now. So it's great, we can put some of the information that we have right now. Well, I can do it right now. I send DSRI.com and it'll be out there for the whole nation. So how is this really going to help my users down in the field who may be required to use it to meet their mission needs? What do you mean by mission need? Is this the mission need of a range specialist? Is this the mission need of a wildlife person? Or is this the mission need of a manager back in DC? Whose mission need is this? So, that's what I'm seeing here is you've just defined the entire problem in GIS is getting